Okay, so our next movie we're going to discuss is sometimes not even considered a horror film due to the major action scenes and the cast of colorful characters that are mostly associated with action films in general.
With stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, and Jesse the Body Ventura, it's easy to see why this is also a great action film. But this is still a horror film, and let's examine why.
Well, first we need to determine what a horror film is, shall we?
I think we shall. The majority of horror movies have a formula that is pretty easy to follow. One, a small group of people isolated on their own with no other way to get help or other way to contact others.
Two, a seen or unseen entity picking the members of said group off one by one and possibly having fun whilst doing it.
Yeah. Number three, gore. Blood, guts, dismemberment, all of that makes up a great horror film.
Number four, creature. Now, this isn't always necessarily a requirement, but let's face it, in most horror films, they do have one. We look back at films like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th series, Alien, they all have a creature. Yes, technically Michael, Freddy, and Jason were people, but they can't be killed in an ordinary sense of the term, so they're creatures.
Yeah, and really, if we even go further back, you want to talk about Frankenstein. You want to talk about Dracula. You want to talk about the Mummy. All of those were creatures. They were the universal creatures.
The creature features.
Yep. So the next thing, number five, tension. All horror movies are great for building tension, either amongst the core people or from the ensuing fight that comes from just trying to stay alive and figure out a way to stop the killer.
Well, horror movies are not solely limited to this formula, but most slashers are. This film is a slasher.
It is.
And I think it's safe to say that. It checks all of those boxes. Just like our last film in American Psycho, this film blurs the lines between the genres.
So what film are we talking about this episode? The film that gave us such incredibly unforgettable lines like,
"Get to the chopper!"
Or,
"I ain't got time to bleed."
Or how about,
"You one ugly motherfucker."
We are talking about the classic from 1987, Predator.
So with all that being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this action sci-fi horror film. Shall we?
I think we shall.
All right, so Predator starts off, the very first shot that we see is an alien spacecraft that deploys its shuttle to Earth. Next, we see Vietnam War veteran Major Alan Dutch Schaefer and his military rescue team, consisting of Mac, Poncho, Blaine, Billy, and Hawkins, are tasked with rescuing a foreign cabinet minister and his aide from insurgents in an unspecified South American country.
This is actually all filmed in Mexico, by the way. I don't know.
Oh, really? I guess I didn't realize that.
It's filmed in the jungles of Mexico.
Makes sense.
CIA officer Al Dillon, a Vietnam War buddy of Dutch's, is assigned to accompany the team over Dutch's objections. En route, the team discovers the wreckage of a helicopter and 3 skinned corpses. Yes, that's right, skinned. This is a fucking horror film, not just an action film. Dutch identifies them as Green Beret that he knew and becomes suspicious of Dillon's intentions.
The team reaches the guerrilla camp and witnesses the execution of a hostage. They mount an attack, killing most of the rebels and several Soviet intelligence officers. Dutch confronts Dillon because he's like,
"It's all bullshit.
What the fuck? I told you we weren't mercenaries. We weren't coming in here to kill a bunch of people." Who reveals that their true mission was to stop a planned Soviet-backed invasion and that the CIA sent the Green Berets weeks earlier for the same mission.
Dutch is not fucking happy about this in any sense of the term.
Not at all.
But the scene that transpires, as this is all happening, is why the vast majority of people classify this film as an action film. It is a straight-up wartime, shoot 'em up, blow 'em up scene.
Absolutely.
But you expect nothing less from, like I said, the actors that are in it. And John McTiernan, who directed this film, is known for directing high-octane action thrillers with, Die Hard,
Yeah.
The only surviving gorilla, Anna, is captured. Learning that more rebels are coming, the team chooses to trek to an extraction point. They are followed by an entity, yes, entity, employing a cloaking device and thermal imaging technology, but a spooked Billy glimpses it.
Yeah, he happens to see it.
Creating a situation where Anna attempts to escape. Smack that bitch up.
So Hawkins catches her, but the creature attacks and kills him while sparing Anna. Dutch organizes a search party, but Blaine is killed by the creature's plasma cannon. So, you know, we talked about this earlier, that this is a slasher. Yeah, this is a slasher where an unseen force is literally picking them off one by one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Enraged, Mac provokes everyone to blindly fire their weapon into the jungle, unknowingly wounding the creature.
As a result of this, we actually do get one other famous line from this film too. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
As the creature administers first aid to itself, the commandos regroup and realize they are being hunted. Dylan believes 2 or 3 gorillas are responsible, but Billy is adamant that their pursuer is not human. And he is actually right.
Yeah.
They make camp for the night and set all kinds of booby traps, tripwires, and stuff like that, which are triggered only by a wild boar. In the confusion, Mac kills it while the creature steals Blaine's body. So the creature avoided every single booby trap that they laid out for it.
So it's got to be at least slightly intelligent.
I'd say highly intelligent.
Highly intelligent.
Highly intelligent, extremely dangerous, and highly volatile.
I mean, and obviously highly intelligent enough to be from another planet.
I mean, they mastered interstellar travel, so that's intelligence in and of itself.
That's more intelligent than we are at this stage, for the most part.
Well, we have no idea what Space Force is doing, but yeah.
Yeah, we really don't. So Dutch later realizes that their enemy uses the trees to travel and frees Anna, who sees that her people had seen similarly mutilated bodies before. The next day, the group constructs a net trap, and they do actually capture the creature.
All for about 2.5 seconds.
But it frees itself, and Poncho... Call her Poncho. I like Poncho. Poncho was injured, and
Poncho Villa?
Poncho Villa. Mac and Dylan pursue it, but are outmaneuvered and also killed.
As the survivors flee, Billy stays behind to fight the creature. Billy is unfortunately killed off-screen. I wish we could have seen that fight ensue.
I know.
Following the survivors and killing Poncho, realizing it does not attack unarmed individual, Dutch tells the unarmed Anna to get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Dutch attempts to distract the creature by fleeing, but is followed into a muddy riverbank and is covered in mud. Well, the creature can't see him while he's covered in mud because it must, I don't know, mud is cool enough to...
The mud was cool enough to mask his body temperature for a short period of time.
Okay.
This is, I know it sounds implausible, but Mythbusters actually proved it is possible.
Really? I would love to... Now I gotta watch that episode of Mythbusters. So he is covered in mud. The creature fails to see him and leaves to collect trophies from the others. Dutch realizes that the cool mud is providing camouflage for his body heat so that the creature cannot see him. And he crafts makeshift traps and weapons and lures the creature out at night with a war cry and a torch.
Instead of going high tech, he goes low.
Mm-hmm.
Or no tech, I guess.
Yeah.
Dutch lightly injures the creature and disables its cloaking device as the creature fires wildly into the forest and tree and tries to escape, but accidentally falls into the river where the water dissolves his muddy camouflage.
As the creature corners Dutch, it removes its mask and its plasma cannon to fight him hand to hand, having deemed him a worthy opponent. Like, he's like, all right, Arnold Schwarzenegger, come here.
That's right. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, right. Despite being overpowered and outsmarted, Dutch attempts to goad the creature into a booby trap. It goes around, but Dutch triggers the trap anyway, crushing the creature with the trap's counterweight, which was just like a giant, basically a tree. He smashes it with a tree.
I understand that Arnold is a former, like, bodybuilder, and stuff like that, and he's very strong, but that was a big ass fucking tree.
Yeah, it sure was.
I want to know how the hell he held it up there. He had to hoist it somehow.
Yeah.
With the alien mortally wounded, he asks,
What the hell are you?
The creature repeats the question back to Dutch and activates a self-destruct device, maniacally laughing as it counts down. Upon realizing what it has done, Dutch runs for cover and somehow survives a massive explosion. He is then rescued by the extraction helicopter with Anna already safely on board, although he is now left traumatized by this whole experience.
And that's that.
Yeah, that is that, and it's really sad because they did ask him to come back for a cameo in like the second one. They even asked him to do a cameo for Predators, the movie directed by Robert Rodriguez in, I believe, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And he was adamant about never reprising the role. I don't know why, but I think that he should have reprised it in some capacity.
I would have loved to have seen him reprise it in some capacity, and I would assume now it's probably too late.
Now you say that.
I say that, but
you
he's
say that,
still
but
working.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is still working.
Sure
in fact,
is.
he is working on a brand new Conan.
Really? Okay.
It's set to come out in 2025.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, get back in the Predator franchise, please. You survived. We want to see you again.
Yes.
Just for a cameo, just something small.
I would love to see both him and Danny Glover make a comeback in the franchise.
Yeah.
Danny Glover, if you don't know, played in Predator 2.
Yep. Well, Bloody Machete up, Bloody Machete down.
I give it a Bloody Machete up based solely off the fact that this is something that was completely out of the blue at the time.
Absolutely.
Like I said, Arnold was known for doing very over-the-top action stuff
heavy.
like that.
And you know what? I think the reason that we get so many heavy action sequences in this film is because we've got the people in it.
Right. You've got the
Jesse
actors.
the Body Ventura. You've got Carl Weathers.
Bill Duke.
Yeah, you've got all these people that are just like...
Shane Black, by the way, who played Hawkins in this, actually was a writer.
Really?
They brought him in for like script doctoring, and he didn't want to do it. So they flew him down to Mexico, left him there with no way to get home, told him they were going to put him in the movie so he could unofficially work on the script.
Wow, that's great. I love it.
Well, what's really funny is The Predator from 2019, 2018, I think. He actually wrote and directed.
Nice, good for him.
So
that's fantastic.
So yeah, I'm Bloody Machete up from you.
Bloody Machete up from me as well. Yeah.
Bloody Machete straight to the fucking sky for The Predator.
It's definitely one of those slashers that you don't expect to be a slasher.
It's a sleepy slasher.
It's a sleepy slasher. Oh, I like that.
It's a sleepy slasher.
I like that.
Because while it does focus heavily on the action and sci-fi elements of it, because sci-fi, alien, whatever, this is still a slasher film. And you're not going to change our minds on that. And I'm hoping that we've changed your minds on the fact that this is a horror film.
Yes, it's not just a creature feature. It's not just sci-fi. It's not just action. It is all of the above, but it is definitely a horror film, whether you like it or not.
I mean, I was scared to watch this as a kid.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It freaked me out. I don't think I watched it. I know I watched it when I was pretty young, but I don't think I watched it again until...
I think the first time I watched this, I was a teenager.
Yeah, I was pretty young, but I don't think I watched it again until probably within the last 5 years.
I watch this occasionally. I'll throw it on, sometimes laying in bed.
Because it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
To me, it's not scary though.
Right.
You know, we were so desensitized by horror. I can literally fall asleep to like The Shining.
Yeah. I can fall asleep to a lot more disturbing stuff than that.
Much to Amy's disdain. The music freaks her the fuck out.
Well, it's the music, yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's get this the fuck out of here. So, what do we want to do next?
Speaking of things being next.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? I think maybe you're next.
Oh, I am?
Or maybe I'm next?
Or
maybe the movie is...
Or maybe you're next.
Or maybe the movie is your next.
Yeah, let's take a look at the 2013 slasher horror film You're Next.
Home invasion slasher. It's a little, again, it's a genre bender, I think. But it is more of a home invasion horror film than anything, I would say.
So, if you guys haven't seen this, don't feel bad. I haven't watched this yet either. So, come back here.
And it's great, and I'm excited for you guys to watch it, so please watch it.
Come back here in 1 week's time when we give you our thoughts on You're Next. Until then, be sure that you slash that subscribe button,
Stab the like button,
and ring that grave bell so you don't get buried alive in the mix and can stay up to date on all of our greatest videos. Until then,
we will see you
in the afterlife.